Coming in, that was my first year last year. Had no idea. I knew that we had good football players. You could see that on film. You could see that when you get there and you start working in the weight room and watching them run. Just didn't know how it was going to come together so fast. Defensively, we had a special season. 14 games, 9 shutouts. That's not normal. And just the buy-in that I had from day one in January, that's what happened. The kids got in the weight room, they bought in, they lifted as hard as they could all the way from January through the summer. We had a great summer last year, and then that was kind of the product of it. Our kids were hungry. They wanted more than what they had been doing in the previous season. And when you have that, and then the community there in Bradford let me bring a few of my guys in with me, you got it's not one man. That's it's a coaching staff, and it's a bunch of good players. That's what equals success, and we were fortunate to pull it off last year. I think it's a couple things. There's a lot of good players. You have to have good players to win football games. It doesn't matter what level it is. It's no different for us. But the coaching staff, the continuity that I was able to bring, have enough of them on campus. It's really big nowadays for kids to be able to go. If they need something, they need to have somebody to turn to. They need a coach on staff that's on campus. And sometimes they don't want to talk to me. They want to talk to the position guy or whatever. And I think that's the thing that everywhere I've been, those 3 places, Bradford, Swanee, Baker, to me, are still a little bit of the old school type mentality. It's still small enough where everything shuts down on Friday night, and it's important. And for them to allow me to bring good, solid men in to coach the kids, that's probably the number one reason why we've been able to get it going. Entitlement, not wanting to work hard. What can I get really, really fast without having to sacrifice a lot? Nothing really, really good comes without sacrifice. It just doesn't. It was that way 30 years ago. It's going to be that way 30 years from now. The more they sacrifice, the more hard work they put in. They just can't understand that. Social media has changed the game a lot. They see other things that look better on the surface. That's not. Somebody put in a lot of hard work to get to that point, and that's been lost a little bit. That's probably the hardest thing in teaching and coaching in the classroom, and then on the football field. But I've been fortunate. The places you talked about, it's still. You can still get on kids, and you can still work them hard, and all those things. And I've been fortunate in that respect. It's a very fine line. Like, I don't know how the guys at the other levels do it. I'm assuming college is probably the worst. I've heard the stories of those guys coming in at 4 a.m. and leaving at midnight. I used to be that type. Like 20 years ago when I first started, that was me. I was every weekend. It was 12 to 15 hours a day on the weekends. I found a better way to do it now. There's something special about a coach's wife, for sure. It's very hard on them. A lot of times they're the ones with the kids. I got a 3 and a 5-year-old, and she teaches also, but she still spends the majority of the time with them all summer when I'm gone at workouts, or she's the one that's having to do it. So it's a special place. Not everybody's cut out for that, and I've got a great one. Ashley's fantastic, and but it is hard. It's the sacrifice that. They don't see it as a sacrifice for us a lot, but it is. Like, I want to be at home with my kids. I want to coach my son, but I coach 60, 70 other kids every day a lot harder than I coach my son right now. And maybe that'll change in the future. I don't know. But it is a tough balance. And every coach here that has a coach's wife that does it should be very thankful, because we couldn't do it without them.
Looking to have a great year. A lot of work that we put in. I think it's going to pay off. Definitely. I felt that we had a lot of talent, a lot of things that weren't being put to how they should have been put. But Coach Rogers definitely came in and put the pieces where they should be placed, and it worked out on the right side of the box. I think we just keep working, I say we just put the pieces back on top, keep grinding, keep our head down. Today, I'd say recruiting's pretty hard nowadays, definitely with the transfer portal. It's making high school recruiting a lot more of a business atmosphere. It's definitely really hard, very intense. Every day we wake up, we go work, and we look on the bright side of that box.
To build off of it, it's only one way we could build, actually, win a national championship. We was 1 game away, so you feel me? I only see one way in fixing it. But as myself, I see we made little mistakes, so I can see like we could work on discipline, a little more hard work, because all it takes, an hour more hard work could change a whole lot, you feel me? I think we just clicked as a team. Like with Coach Thomason, we was pretty decent, like talent-wise, but we weren't really all as a team. You feel me? So last year, I think we actually came together, chemistry, got our bond right.